Hey guys, Joe here with an update on the semi. It's been a little bit since we've done anything with it. The weather here hasn't really been cooperating with us. Today, although it's cold, it is sunny, so I thought I'd give you guys an update on what we're doing. Work's been kind of slow. We've been busy with other projects, but wanted to show you the frame extensions that we had fabricated, and we're getting ready to have them welded on. So let's take a look. Be sure to take a peek at our exclusive merch, not found anywhere else, like our Knight Rider Historians and Semi-Restoration Team branded apparel, along with our line of Garthware, trademark pending. T-shirts, hoodies, even coffee mugs in a variety of colors and styles to suit every taste. Your purchase directly supports this channel and helps us to continue bringing you awesome content. View the merch below this video and click on the link in the description for our entire catalog. All right, so here is one of the two frame extensions just mocked into place. So you can see here, they did a fantastic job. This is actually one of the donor pieces from another frame, and we got it sandblasted, and then we had all the holes filled in. There were holes throughout this piece. We had them all filled in, and then we had them fabricate the correct end on this frame. So you can see here, we're working on the joint here. The plan is we're gonna angle both pieces here. We're gonna do a little bit more, and then that'll give some space in there for the weld to get in there, so it gets, you know, deep down into that union. And then when we come over here, we also had the fab shop weld this plate, this backer plate on. So you can see they welded this half of it on to the extension, and then we're gonna weld it here. So between the weld on the outside, that weld there, plus, as we mentioned on the fifth wheel, the fifth wheel bolts are gonna run through here, through here, through here. So with all that, those will not be going anywhere. I can't remember if I mentioned this in the last video, but we went through and marked all of the original holes in what's left of the frame here. So take a look at this. Everything you see in yellow are original holes for when the tractor had spring suspension. So of course we're gonna have to revert it back and get all these holes drilled back out. For some reason, whenever they switched it to air ride, they plugged most of the holes. So what you're looking at here, this is right here, this is the center link of the suspension. So you have the giant bolt here, 3 bolts on either side. We come down here, and I believe those are the back brackets for the air, one of the air tanks. So there's the back bracket, there's where the front one goes, and then we come over here, and that's the front hanger. Now obviously the back hanger would be out there, so we don't have those holes. But then these yellow ones across the top, these are the fifth wheel mounting points right through there, okay? So then when we come over to this side, similar story, but the fact that we were able to find these really, it actually helped us figure out how long that frame extension needed to be and some other stuff. So again, there's your center link. You got your bolts across the top for the fifth wheel. That's one bracket of the air tank. The other one is back over there. And then we've got the front hanger there. So, you know, once these are welded on, then the next step, we're gonna get all these holes drilled out. We're going to fill in all the holes we don't need. But once these are welded on, the holes are drilled out, then we can get the axles back in, which is huge, absolutely huge to get those back in. We still have hangers to, water tank hangers to remove. And the plan as of now is still we're going to sandblast this frame. So I guess we'll do that before we put the axles back in. We'll get the frame sandblasted and epoxied. Other than that, the truck's kind of been sitting. It's like I said, we're entering winter here, and I do not have a roof over yet. As you can see, we're working on it. But I pretty much, just to kind of give you a look on the inside here, I put all the seats back in here. We've got it mice proofed, and we check on it regularly so no mice are getting in, which is a good thing. So we're kind of using the inside for storage right now, but you know, it's coming along. Does anybody need a driver's seat from the General? Let me know. But just take a look at that. They really, really nailed it. And if you take a look at a screenshot from the show, you'll see that we got this angle pretty much exactly right. Exactly the way it needs to be. They even smoothed it over so it's like ready to go. Adds another almost 2 feet onto the frame. So for those of you who are unlucky and don't get snow, yeah, right. Here, I'll give you a little bit of mine. This is after about a foot of snow has already melted here in the Northeast United States. But there is the semi. Behind the scenes, we've got all of the stripes designed. We had an awesome, awesome guy, one of our viewers here, design all the stripes for us, which was fantastic. And we're gonna do a whole video devoted just to that when the time comes. But we recently had someone else reach out to us who has a vinyl cutting shop and is going to cut all of the decals for us. So that's very exciting. So we're working on that. We're not gonna go into details on any of that yet, but that's exciting. So obviously we're not quite ready to apply them yet. We still have to paint the truck, but that's gonna happen this year. By the end of 2022, this truck will be black with gold pinstriping and hopefully with a sleeper on it. But the real excitement and the real moving forward is we've got our frame extensions welded on. Finally, we were finally able to get someone out to weld these on, and they did an amazing, amazing job. Take a look at this. Now, obviously, this is all gonna need grinded, smoothed. We'll get to that, right? But Mobile Welding Service came out today and they welded these extensions on. So now, after all this time, the frame is finally back to the exact length it was back when they were filming Knight Rider. So it hasn't had this long of a frame in 30 years, 35 years. So we're slowly getting that back together. As you can see, they welded in these union plates back here to give this extra support here. And then in addition to that, the fifth wheel mount, which is right there under all the snow, when this gets mounted back on here, it's bolted in across the top. In fact, you see these 3 yellow, actually, yeah, those 3, just those 3, yeah, I had to think about that. So those 3 yellow squares, and there's a couple more that go out here, those are the mounts for the fifth wheel plate. So they're gonna be all across here, and it's gonna sit down here. And even though this is super strong, we're gonna mount the plate on. It's gonna be bolted in here and here. It's just gonna really tie it together and make this really, really strong, which is awesome. The Mobile Welding Company is coming back in a few weeks, and they're going to drill out all of the original spring suspension holes. Huge step forward with these. They are bare metal, so as soon as we're done with this video, we're gonna prime them so they don't start rusting on us. Because as you can see, it's still a little moist out here. But it's amazing how much longer those extensions make the frame. You know, this, you look at it, especially here in person, it's just a really, really long frame. But you need that length, right, for room for the sleeper, which goes to, let's see, where did the sleeper go to? Right about, I'm trying to find the marks. There's marks up here, which we've talked about before, where the sleeper goes, 60 inches. Right here, there's the mark, right there. So You see the difference in the paint color here? See how the paint, the black's a little darker here, and there's a line right here, and then it's faded. This is where the sleeper, the edge of the sleeper sat. So it went from here almost to the front, right? This is the marks for where the front of the sleeper was. We went over that in a previous video, but by moving all of the suspension back to where it belongs, now we have room for the sleeper. And for those of you saying you're crazy for going back to a spring suspension, well, you're probably not going to get to ride in it, right? So the reason we're doing this is because we value historical authenticity over ride comfort. And we want this back to exactly the way it was back in 1986. And I'd say with those extensions, we are on our way. So hopefully before too long, those axles will be back under here. We're going to get this frame all cleaned up, redone. It'll look amazing. And then once this is done, it's time for body work and paint. The Semi will hopefully be done in 2022. All right, so that's it for the updates on the Semi. Look for another update here in a few weeks once we get all these holes drilled out, and then the fun really begins. We get to try and get those things back under here. All right, as always, guys, thanks for watching. More updates on the Semi soon. We'll talk to you later.
And now, while we listen to Joe's selection of Knight Rider music that we received directly from Don Peak himself, we'd like to thank these Patreon supporters. Look at you guys scrolling up the screen to my right. Wait a minute, how can you tell which side is my right since you can't see me because I'm not on camera? Oh well, you know what I mean. We're featuring these fine supporters at our Knight Rider Prop Restorer level. Thank you very much for your support. And for those of you at the Knight Rider History Hunter level, we're recognizing you right now in the description. Now, if you enjoyed seeing this golden nugget of Knight Rider history being rescued from obscurity, then please consider supporting us on Patreon. Your support would empower us to bring you even more of these historical nuggets. We are the Knight Rider Historians. Till next time, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.